even if a dementia resident has accepted that they're now living in this unit and they can't get out unless a relative comes to take them out, there's still a lot of challenges that they have to face on from that point. And three of the challenges that many dementia residents find very difficult long-term is the whole aspect of too many people, too much noise, and regimented routine, all of which are difficult. Because if you've been living on your own most of your life, or the latter part of your life, and now you're living with 30 people, it's an enormous adjustment. The lounge is always crowded, 30 people in the small dining area, and then there's so much noise all the time. There's so much noise from the kitchen clatter, people's voices, telephone, medication trolleys, all of which a person has to adjust to. And the routine being so regimented is very difficult to be able to adjust to if you've been, used to having your own routine all your life. So all of these things have to be considered. And if at all possible, it has to be looked at from the perspective of the dementia resident's point of view, and seeing if there's ways that can be, things that can be put in place to mitigate the effect of these problems. So, for example, let's take too many people. Well, if you've been a quiet person all your life, maybe you have never been that social, even at school or at work, you'll just do what you need to do, but you're not going to, you don't like parties. You've just got a small family, 1 or 2 children, and you're not used to being with big crowds, and you don't like it, and maybe claustrophobic into the bargain. Then being put into a dementia unit where, you're there and that's it. It's so difficult. So what often happens, of course, is that people retire to their room. They spend all day in their room. And that's not good either, because when one becomes socially isolated, shut down, depressed, or extremely anxious then any skills that the person had before coming into the dementia unit, even limited speech, will go if the person doesn't continue to practice their communication skills. And of course, they'll get lonely because they're not communicating with anyone. So dementia residents need to communicate. Like we all need to communicate. But what needs to be worked out is a routine where the person can have, say, half the time in their room each day, and then the other half out socialising, or at least a quarter of the time out from the room socialising in the day. And as a relative, work out what times that's best. So if, for example, your relative likes to watch the news in the evening and, maybe listen to music, well, it could be that when you go through the monthly program, as a relative, you can work out with staff that your mother can be encouraged to watch the news each evening in the lounge. Now, that's actually a quiet time of day, because a lot of people have often gone to their bedrooms by then. The carers have put the dementia residents in bed, and so there'll only be often only a third of the number of people in the lounge in the evening time. So that's a really good time for your mother to come out then, because it's less crowded. It's also less noisy. There's less staff, there's no kitchen noise, there's no phone calls, the main day staff are off. So that time from, say, 6 o'clock when dinner's finished till 8 o'clock at night is actually quite a restful time in dementia units. So if your mother can come out at that time for those couple of hours, she can socialise, she can watch the news, there'll be less noise, and she'll be more likely to be able to assimilate. And even if the rest of the time she spends in her room, at least for the first month or so while she's adjusting, and you can visit her and make sure she's got activities in her room that she can work with, like the newspaper and magazines and favourite television programs being put on, etc. And then in time, as she adjusts, then she can come out for some of the programs in the day that she enjoys. Like, for example, if she enjoys music, well, you know, when the happy hour's on, when there's music and a live entertainer often, she can come out for that. And if you come to those activities with her, that's also a great help for her to be able to cope, because if she has you with her when she's going into a more crowded space, which is what happy hour will be, especially if there's a live entertainer, you know, most of the unit will turn out for that. But it's good for your mother to assimilate to that, because in time she's going to need to assimilate to the crowd. I mean, she'll need to adjust because that's where she's living. So if it can be done in a tailored way, step by step, integrating it with your support and socialization with you, that really will go a long way for her to be able to manage. Now, another thing is that because dementia units are such noisy places, if your mother is noise averse, it might be worth considering not having the hearing aids in when she's going out to the lounge or to the dining table for meals, because the hearing aids will just amplify the noise. Whereas if she's a bit deaf, sometimes actually it's an advantage not being able to hear the racket, especially when residents are screaming and the kitchen noise and the clatter is really loud and it's stressful. If there's no hearing aids, and if your hearing aid's limited, say, by 50%, then the noise that you're hearing will be 50% less. And so that's 50% less noise stress. And you can put in the hearing aids when you come and visit, so that when you're communicating with her, she can hear you. So that's also another way of being able to reduce noise stress. And in terms of the regimented routine, you know, just a little bit of respite and break from the routine also helps. Maybe taking your mother out for half a day on a Saturday or Sunday, and just having a meal outside, you know, at your place or at a cafe or something, so that she doesn't have to cope with that din and crowd 3 times a day, 21 times a week. If she can just have a couple of times in the week where she gets some respite, maybe you can have lunch with her in her room at the dementia unit when you visit, rather than in the lounge, and you can mention that to staff, that your mother needs a bit of a break and that you're happy to, you know, have the meal with her or help her with her feeding if she needs it in her room. These are just ways that you can break it up a bit, because if we get respite, if we get reprieve from any demanding, challenging situation, it goes a lot to being able to build our resilience and manage and cope long term. So I've written these 2 books, The Resident's Voice from a Dementia Unit and The Resident's Rise from a Dementia Unit. And it's all about the experiences of these wonderful dementia residents, their experiences and their perspective from living about, you know, their perspective and their experiences of living in a dementia unit, and what it entails and what they have to both endure and the challenges that they overcome in dementia facilities. It's really important that their voice is heard. And so this is all written up in these 2 books, which you can get on Amazon quite easily, also on my website, pietavalentine.com, in the description below. So thank you for your looks and your likes and your interest. Please pass on these links if they're of help and use to other friends and family that you feel, you know, are in this situation. And please subscribe to the channel. It's an ongoing challenge, isn't it, this whole aspect of getting a platform up and running. But if we can get this platform built for these dementia residents to be able to have a voice, it would be a wonderful social help for them. Thank you.